So 2024 was a really unusual year when it came to our clients and the outcomes and the stories and the adventures, things that went right and things that also went wrong as well. And we're always learning. We learn a lot from our clients through what they do, right? It's always unpredictable. Everybody starts out with the same goal, but they all take a different winding path to get there, right? So we were just talking about some of the stories the other day and what we had learned from them. And we thought, hey, it'd be really cool to maybe share 3 of these stories and, the things that went wrong, but also the things that went right, of 3 stories that really stood out for us last year.
You're absolutely right. I worked for so many years and I always say that probably there is nothing that can surprise me. And then bam, something like this happening and I'm very, very surprised and learning something new with you guys. So let's start with the stories.
Okay, so of course, names have been changed for privacy reasons. But I'm sure that the guys, if they see this, they know who it is. Anyway, so the story number 1, I've called No Chemistry Doesn't Mean No Chemistry. Take it away.
Yeah, so we had a guy,
Peter.
And he joined us and we invite him to join the Zoom party. He met a wonderful lady there. They started communication. I was present at their call. Her English was fluent. And the first call was like something magical, like this kind of chemistry happening not that often on the first calls when people just communicate. And it's like, I feel that I'm definitely like not supposed to be there because it's something very almost like spiritual, I would say, it's something very deep. It's like the conversation is interesting. They have so much in common. Everything was absolutely amazing. After this first call, of course, they exchange contact and they stay in touch. So they've been talking every single day. That is also a little bit more like rare because like people usually like setting up like a one time a week a video call. They've been talking every single day and he'd been working, she'd been working, but because like there was little benefit for this guy because he's in Europe, it's easier for him that the time zone is the same. So basically when they've been working, after the work, they've been talking. And before they first meet, I was very surprised, but he told me that they have like 3 or 4 more trips planned together already. And somewhere he's already even bought some tickets because he's a runner and he's running marathons. And so he was planning to run marathon like somewhere in Europe and she wanted to go with him. So that tickets and that participation were bought even before their first meet.
He lives in Europe too.
He lives in Europe, yeah. And she was in Ukraine, by the way. And so, of course, we were with anticipation waiting for their first meeting. They finally met in some European city, not where he lives. I don't remember, I think it was Prague or Vienna, doesn't matter. So they met and of course I was always Mama Luba, hey, how are you, Peter? How are you? Like send me pictures. Pictures were amazing, like every single picture, like she's leaning on him, everything is great. I said like Striker, it's like, it's incredible.
It was
like,
a tick in the box,
like,
we nailed it.
Yeah, it was like, wow. And then when she left, all of a sudden we have a call from him and he say like very upset, he say, Luba, I don't know what's going on, you have to help me. Basically, I don't understand anything, but she left and she said that she doesn't want to stay in touch with me. She doesn't want to get to know, like basically that's it, that's the end of the story. I was shocked because, I thought that I can judge pretty well on the photos and everything. And we asked her during the call, during the meet, like everything is fine. She said, yes, everything is good. And so when we collected the feedback from her right after the trip, she said, I'm sorry, I have no chemistry with him and I don't feel it.
So usually when a woman says no chemistry, it can be a range of different things, but they use this no chemistry as a way to sort of blanket everything, right?
So
because
I would not ask any more questions.
Yeah.
No chemistry, what can I do?
Yeah, what can we do with no chemistry? And usually it can be anything, can be the way he looks, the way he acts, anything. She just doesn't have that attraction. She may not even know herself what it is. So then I spoke with him, having a man-to-man, and it turns out that there was a lot of chemistry on this trip. A lot of chemistry.
He said, guys, it can be anything, but definitely not lack of chemistry.
Yeah, so it was an intimate sexual relationship.
Yeah.
To a high level, right?
So we can't fall asleep, basically. But anyway, I want to stop here for a second because what happened is that, like, what we do, like when we have a first initial call with a client and we say that our biggest superpower is support, it's very difficult to understand because, okay, why do I need support? I need to find a woman. Like, why do I need support? So to find out about their sexual and intimate experiments and, their experience, I want to say it was not that easy, because when she said that there is no chemistry, and he said that there was physical, intimate time, I, of course, assumed that it was bad. And so I have to go back to the lady and say, okay, so I'm sorry to ask, because obviously it's ridiculous, but did you have? And she said, yes. And then I assumed that it was bad, and so that's it. That is literally no physical chemistry. Then we get back to him and we say, there is not good. And he said, but it was more than one time. Then I was like, okay, how can it be more than one time and no chemistry, you obviously didn't do against your will. So anyway, that was very uncomfortable, I will be honest with you, to get back and forth to try to find out what was going on. But
we had to find the real reason.
We have to find the real reason. So that's what the support mean. Because he would never get, what we will tell at the end, we would never ever get.
And some of you guys might actually even think about doing this because you think it's a good strategy. So
yeah,
stick around.
So basically, no chemistry. Then we find out, and I said, no, my dear, you're lying to us, basically. There is a chemistry. What happened? Can you please tell me? That was a torture, because this guy was super upset. Every single evening for a week, 12 p.m. I don't know why, 12 a.m. at night, he said, you have to help me. You have to find out. You have to figure it out. And honestly, it was extremely difficult to find out from this girl what was actually happening. So anyway, Lyubachka is pretty determined, and I said, okay, you have to tell me what is wrong, because no matter will you be with this man or will not, I want to know, because I'm planning to introduce you in the future, and I need to know what are your concerns. That words melt her heart. That words melt that iceberg, and so she started to a little bit be more honest with me. So the reality of this lady was pretty sad in her family situation. So she's an older sister, and her younger sister is disabled, and her mom is taking complete care about this disabled sister. And this girl in Ukraine, she had her little business and she was working in 2 other jobs. She was 100% supporting herself and her mother with disabled daughter, disabled sister for this girl, and father was not even in the picture. So when she met with this guy, everything was absolutely incredible. And when later on, she told me this, she was crying and she said, Luba, I can't tell you this because I would sound shallow. You will think that I'm a horrible person, but this is my life, and I dedicate my life to help my mom to raise our kid. She called it our kid. And so what happened is that during the trip, they've been it was really an amazing and very special trip for both of them. Finally, she told me that. And during the trip, they have a conversation about their future potential life, about their trips and everything. And the lady felt extremely bad with all this level of attraction and excitement and everything, ask him about his salary. And at this moment you might think, money again, gold digger again, scammer. But I explained you the situation, and this is the real true situation of this person that been not asking for the whole time that they've been talking with him. She never asked for anything, and till this moment, she never asked for any help. She's doing everything herself. But moving to a different country, even though it's closer, it's not United States, it's relocating to a next door country, will change her life. She won't be able to run her business. She won't be able to have these jobs, and she will she wants to work, but she understood that she will need to learn a new language. It's not English in that country that she knows very well, and she for some time will 100% depend on him, and she unfortunately will have to put the responsibility that she had in Ukraine for her family on him as well. This guy didn't know the circumstance because she never told him, I think, about this sister, and never complained about that. He, as a man, decided to be a bit tricky.
Yeah. So every man is worried about getting a woman latching on who is a gold digger, right? So what he did as part of his strategy was that when they started talking about how much money that he makes, and he makes pretty good money, he decided to say a lot less to see if she would stick around, all right? To see if she was just after his money. So she said a lot. He said a lot less than what he earns. It wasn't nothing, but it certainly wasn't a lot, right? And so him hoping that she would say, money is not important or something, right? You know, or still be with him even though he only earned a smaller amount of money. But it wasn't that small. It wasn't like nothing.
So the problem was that he was supporting his family, and he said that he paid for his apartment this amount of money. I don't know how they got to this conversation, but I think that because they've been talking for so long, they've been like really, really close in their communication. And so they said that he was supporting his family, he was paying for apartment, and so the money that he has left for living, it was about like something under 1,000 euros. And he said, like, for me, it's fine. Like, for one single man, you know, it's fine. But she understood that, you know, he's like planning to be not a single man. And also she's coming and they will have a child and she has responsibilities. But she liked him so much to the level that she was ready to give up on everything because she didn't want to tell him anything about money. She didn't want to upset him or offend him. And she just like decided that, you know, she will swallow this pain, but she will not tell that the issue is money. So finally, when we figured out, like me and Striker, we were thinking for the jobs for Peter. We thought like, what can we do? Like Striker, like, you know, it's so many ways to make money.
Yeah, but there was a lot in between there as well. Like, you know, because he was sending her messages and I was telling him like, just don't message her, don't do it. Like she needs to miss you. You know, now you're just messaging her and you're gonna basically start to annoy her because she's already said there's no chemistry. So it was really hard for him not to try and stay in his own frame on this one.
Because he was in touch with her before a lot. Move a little bit. So he was trying to a lot, staying with her. And also, you know, it was interesting. Some Ukrainian ladies, they are into some astrology, you know, all this. Like even that, we was able to figure it out. And so when we will tell you in a moment what happened with his money. But when we figured out the time that, you know, he was waiting, not messaging her, and then he finally messaged, like I told him when to message because we described with her, she was a little bit worried that there is like some planets going backwards and this is all falling apart. Like I have to deal with it, trust me. And I'm not into that at all. And I'm very much like you guys, like thinking more practical. And so the bottom line is that I said on Wednesday at 3 o'clock, you need to message her. And she was waiting for that message a lot because like by Striker strategy, you know, he did message her for, I think 7 or 10 days and like it was perfect. But so when we figured out about the money issue, of course, like we should tell him about this. But the thing is that if you don't make enough money, you don't make enough money. And so, as I said, Striker always like he started thinking about like ways how to help him to make money, you know, what kind of business he can do and etc. He said like there's so many ways to make money. And so when we finally said like Striker, we should not like hide anything. This is the reality. So we finally find out at least this man doesn't feel, you know, bad, you know, that he is not good or whatever, like because it's like for the man it's pretty difficult. And we told him, and he said he was like quiet for a second. Then he went like white and he said, to be honest, like it's not the true amount that I told her. So he said like I make a lot of money and I even my parents don't know about that. So and I didn't feel comfortable sharing this with them. And of course with the lady, you know, that I meet for the first time, I didn't want to tell everything. But for me, like money is definitely not a problem. And of course, like if this girl would think about like that he booked all these trips, you know, how they spend this time, she would understand that this is impossible that he would all do this like for this little money that he told her that he has left. Or maybe he was, you know, saving them for 40 years. And it was like miscommunication. Basically, it was miscommunication. The guy have his concerns about like, oh, I shouldn't tell her about my money. She has her concerns about her responsibility that she need to keep doing no matter how much she's in love or anything. But it was very interesting case for us. It was very, very difficult. It was in summer. It was extremely difficult emotionally because we felt that, you know, this guy is truly in love. And she also, you know, she sounded very, very upset about everything. But before I was able to get this information out of her, it took a lot of energy, time and effort. So in the end, now, you know, they missed, I think, one trip that they planned from these 3. And then they went to 2 others. And even though they met just in June, in December of 2024, she moved to his country in Europe. And now they live.
And now they live together. So in the end, it was a happy story. But it was a really messed with our minds, that one, didn't it? Because some of them it's kind of black and white. It's on, it's not on. Maybe there's some stuff we can do. But this one here, like for us, it was like we have to even just figure it out for ourselves. Like,
Yeah,
how could they
we
have
can't.
this
Incredible
highly
time.
charged, sexually or intimately charged adventure together, and then at the end of it, she gets home, she's like,
No.
nah. It's like, did she use him like just for sex? Like, we have to figure this out because this is so crazy. So anyway, so that was the moral of the story, is that no chemistry doesn't necessarily mean no chemistry. It's what we learnt during that.
Yeah. Thank you, Peter, for letting us share the story. But
Yes,
we are
we wish
moving.
them all the best,
Yeah,
so.
yeah. So the next story is also very interesting. Also happened this summer, because like it was very busy summer. There was a lot of stories, but we just like find these like 3 highlights because
Stories we learnt from.
we learned from, and basically it's the stories
Right.
when things were like, if our support was not be turned on time, that won't help. Like this relationship would never work.
Yeah.
So the second story, what is the name of the story? I feel like we are like
Yeah.
old.
I feel like I should be drinking like a cup of like a mug of cocoa and smoking a pipe.
Why?
I don't know. Telling stories. Okay. This one here, number 2, we've called it cultural differences and the nuances that come with it, and how
Yeah.
they can destroy any relationship that you set your eyes on.
Yeah. Let's
Part 1.
hurry up because I don't want it to be an hour video. But
Oh, it will
so the guy, let's call him Tom.
Tom.
Tom Yum.
Tom Yum.
Tom Yum. He was in touch with the 2 ladies, and both ladies were absolutely amazing in communication. And both ladies, he wanted a lady with a child because he has a child, and both ladies has children. And as you know, we are recommending you to talk to a couple of ladies at the same time to get introduced, not dating them, but introduced to them, because we want you to be able to see. Like, I thought that we are doing this because we want you to see like different options. We want you not to settle. We want you to find exactly what you're looking for and be happy. But in this case, like, it worked a little bit differently, because if he would talk only to one, he probably would finish like empty hands. So he talked to these ladies, and he had 2 trips planned. One to meet with her in one country, and another, but like with a difference in like 1 week. So he came to Europe for 3 weeks. He met with the first lady, and they went to a very interesting, very different country. I don't want to say the names because like some of the guys know part of the story. So, but anyway, they went to the country with a lot of history, with a lot of unusual for American, especially cultural things, and they started exploring. So this guy is pretty wealthy. He is very like, he's handsome, he's tall, he's like, everything is amazing about this guy. Very good sense of humor, always laughing, always like, all the ladies with whom he spoke like absolutely loved him. He just like picked these 2, and the lady really was excited to go and meet him, but she has a lot of concerns about like their future. Will he accept her son? But he also has a son, so it's like he wanted somebody with a child. And so, as I said, so when they meet, they start exploring, and there was like a cultural difference. I often speak about that on the West it's very common to speak about money. Oh, I make this amount of money, this costs this amount of money, this is very expensive, this is very cheap, oh, this price raised, oh, I pay these taxes, and this state these taxes, I make like an hour this amount of money, a year annual this money. And in Ukraine we just don't discuss it. In Ukraine there's a very, very, very strict rule. If you talk, and you have to remember this, guy, if you talk about money, you have money problem. Even though it's not true, I'm telling you how the Ukrainian person, as soon as she hear anything about, oh, that is expensive or that is cheap, that doesn't matter. That only means that you have a problem. So during their trip, they were exploring something, and there was a couple of things that this guy mentioned that, oh, the price is very different from United States. And one time there was a little thing that he just said, he still got it. They wanted to get some water, and he said, oh wow, it's so expensive. It was like some very touristy place. He still got it, no problem. But for this girl who also has concerns about moving to a different country, bringing her son in her, and having a very like, not very healthy relationship in the past, for her it was like a buzzword. For her it was a trigger. Okay, but what if your son one day, this is her feedback, later on, what is if my son wants something, water, and he will say that, oh no, we're not gonna get it, like it's very expensive, even though that guy I particularly asked, he bought that. But for her that he commented this, for her it was very unusual. So she really, really liked him. But she said, Luba, I cannot move through that because my ex-husband was extremely cheap. He never, like, he had a sister and the sister had a son, and like my son was always wearing the old, like, very ripped clothes from that boy. And so I can't, like, I make money, I made decent money, I live in Ukraine, and even though it's like the life is under the bombs right now, but I still, at least I'm responsible for my life and I'm making enough to support me and my son. So I cannot be with this man. I gave the feedback to the Tom Young, and Tom was devastated is the right word. He was shocked. Like he was said, what? Like he can't even...
What? Water?
Water. He can't even believe that this could possibly happen. That this like triggers something in her, and that he pop up in her mind like somebody who is cheap. Even though like all that I explained to her that, you know, like, listen, he's not like that, I know him very well, and etc. No. But we didn't insist too much on this first lady, because in a week he had a second meeting. So we decided, okay, we will give her a little bit time to slow cook, you know, and he will meet another lady. But with all of our support, there was a little other details that, you know, she mentioned about like this and that, cultural, very cultural, something about clothes, something about this. And yes, I would say that if she would probably be like super attracted in him, like she may overlook that. But trust me, there are certain things, especially when it's something about relocating, where it is about losing control and losing your stability that you have, even small stability, but stability that these ladies have, it's very difficult. So I gave him all this support. We collected it all. And with the second lady, they came actually here to meet us in Valencia, and that was absolutely shocking. I didn't say a word, but when we meet, like we usually, like strikers stay talking to the guy, and I take lady to the restroom, beat her up there, I'm sorry, just talking to her, and she started telling me about this guy, that he brought her, you know, like extremely nice purse, and that he, you know, everywhere they walk, like everything is so prepared. He organized this, and they have tickets for this, and he booked it like this. It was not about money that he spent on this. It was about like how highly organized his trip, you know, and the places that to go, and like what to do, and how she feel absolutely safe and relaxed with this man. And when he came, it was also a little bit different. Again, different lady. She came a little bit earlier, and they agreed to stay in Airbnb, even though we recommend hotel. But this particular couple decided to stay in a 2-bedroom apartment. So she made borscht for him. For the first borscht, she cooked, like, because it was like 5 or 6 hours between her flight and his flight. So when he came, like he was absolutely shocked. So the moral of the story is that sometimes it's good to do these mistakes because you can learn on that, but you can only learn if you have support and you have people who can point, you know, some sort of things. Because this lady will not give him this feedback, because she just messaged him and say, thank you for the great time. We have no chemistry again, you know, and you know, and that's it. So
yeah, the thing to remember is we always talk about the cultural differences, and I think sometimes people think, oh yeah, okay, I eat this kind of food and they eat borscht or whatever, but it's more than that. It really is. And because if she doesn't understand the cultural differences and you don't understand them either, you're two people trying to figure something out, and the other person doesn't make sense, right? So that's why we've written courses like, you know, Ascend. That's why we coach the guys. That's why we make all these videos for you guys that aren't using our services. You can start to understand some of those things and understand that, you know, there is a little bit of work that you have to understand before you go and do it. Otherwise, something as small as complaining about how much water costs can cost you a relationship. It's that sensitive sometimes. You know?
Sensitive. It's not about money. It's really like I worry when I speak about this that people think, oh, you know, she's like into money.
There will be guys that think like
but
that.
It's like
sure.
It's exactly what you said.
Yeah.
It's like this sensitive thing that, like, because I would honestly, like, it happened to me once. Like I've been in US and I met with one of my like ex-client, like from long time ago, and he's very reputable. I don't want to, like, probably he's watching. I feel bad about this, but even him, like, you know, he has a lot of money, and we was like walking and he wanted the water, and then like he also commented on that, and I got it now that it is a cultural thing. He commented that, you know, the water in New York costs a lot, like especially if you're walking and you buy it not in a supermarket. And I don't know, like, I don't know, it like just for women it's very discouraging. Like I don't know, maybe, and it's not that we're not appreciating your money, it's not that we not like value, we value a lot, but like such things that, you know, you have no other choice. It's like if you're thirsty and you need to buy water in desert, you will buy it no matter what it costs. And so you either not say that you're thirsty or you buy it and you not speak. And this is the Ukrainian thing.
Yeah, like you don't need to tell her that the water is expensive, because unless she's going to go and somehow make a discount for you at the shop, it doesn't matter to her if it's expensive or not. If you want to buy it, buy it. You know, it's
or
water.
no, and you can say, you know, we can get it in another place. It would be even better than say anything about money.
You could say this water it's past its expiry date.
It's what I tell you always.
She thinks water has an expiry date.
Say like it's 1,000 years water, but anyway,
billions of years.
But what I want to say is that, you know, in this thing, what you can learn is that when you travel, obviously things are a little bit different, pricing and everything, and you know, some museums, something is overpriced, something is less overpriced, but you just need to be prepared because you're traveling, and this is what we do when we travel, right?
Yeah, this was interesting because he was meeting two ladies at the same time. If he had just been meeting one, he would have gone home and gone,
exactly,
that sucks, and this was a waste of time, and I'm upset, but he didn't. We said, okay, no problem, we're just going over here and just readjust, recalibrate, just correct. And he did that, and then now he's in a relationship.
And
did you say
yes, so they spent New Year together. They met with their children in Europe. He flew with his son, and in November, even before like this meeting, they applied for U4U.
Cool.
So good story. And the story number 3, for me, like
disaster.
Like when I opened my phone on 31st of December, I was absolutely shocked. But let's get back to the beginning of this story. So, what is the name of the story?
This one here is.
I really love this format. I don't know, like we have so many stories.
We should do it on the couch actually. So it's.
You like there? I don't.
We should. No, it's more relaxed, and we could have like some nice candles and stuff like that. This one here is called. I don't know, I'm just making it up.
Just read it.
So this one here is the true power of masculine frame, or lack thereof it, that can completely derail a relationship for absolutely, almost seemingly no reason whatsoever. Go.
I wanted to write a book, and I still want, and I will, and we are going to. There's so many plans to this, but I wanted to say these stories because we have so many stories, and like I don't know how we come up with this format, but I really love it. So anyway, let's pick 3 and then we will do another video. So this incredible video, incredible story, we got a call. I think he was away, if I don't mind, if I remember correctly. He was away and we had a call, and like no matter how far apart, we're always under the same sky.
No, I was here, I was walking.
Or something, yeah, because
I was walking in town and I had my headphones
so we
on.
always like, even if you know we're not like one of us is not working part-time, but we're still working. And so the guy called us and he explained the situation. So we I would say maybe 20 to 25% of the calls that we have is just the guys who are looking for some advice, coaching in their like personal life. So they may be dating somebody, or maybe they're in a relationship, or maybe they're like going through divorce. So we do like relationship coach. And this guy, actually we should have like go and look at his first email, because I don't remember exactly, but he said that he emergency needed help. He is dating a woman, but everything was great until she went back to Ukraine. She was already living in the United States. And after her trip to Ukraine, their relationship destroyed, and he basically can't leave, because she's absolutely everything that he ever dreamed about, and so he doesn't understand what is going on. And that was a very unique situation, because I actually didn't have access to the lady.
Well, he wasn't our client. He wasn't our client. He wasn't our matchmaking client. No.
But also the problem is that even though like we speak with him, I didn't know her story. I didn't know what was happening in her mind. But because we have such a giant experience and there are so many stories, obviously every story is like, plus minus a little bit similar. So this guy was telling us a story that he met a lady in the United States and they've been dating for half a year. Incredible, absolutely amazing relationship. Everything is great, and he can't wait to get married with this woman. And she was cooking for him, and she was doing this and this. Like, absolutely like a dream. And then something happened in Ukraine, and she was supposed to go back to Ukraine, I think with her mom, and she was supposed to stay there for a month, and then on the way back, like just go back to the States. And I don't remember, honestly, it was her, like she was supposed to pick up some animal from Ukraine, or like she was with a child. I don't remember what exactly happened, but on the way back, when she was in Poland, she called him and said that she has some problems. I think it was a pet. So they can't go through, they cancel her ticket, and she's like, she has a fever, she like is sneezing, she's feeling so bad, and she just don't know what to do, and she's extremely tired because it was a very exhausting way through, from Ukraine to Poland, with the border, with the checking the bags and everything. Like it was almost 24 hours that she didn't sleep, and now on the plane when she was supposed to fly directly from Warsaw to United States, you know, she can't fly, there's something happened. And the answer that she got from him is very, very typical. I hear that from the guys a lot. So here's the lesson, right? On the West, and I think that we've done a video about that, there is a very big culture of have empathy, right? And you're probably aware of these phrases like, I wish I would be there for you. If I would be next to you, I would make you, if you're sick, I don't know, soup. If I would be you, like I would also feel sad. And in this case, you know, like he say to her, I'm really sorry, like I wish I would be there for you, and I hope that you will be able to figure it out. At that moment, this lady with this pet and with the fever, she was very upset, was very tired, and she understood that the man that she loved so much, she lost. So when she was in Poland, when she was at the airport, like they canceled her ticket, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but like there was no refund for the ticket, there was no changing flight, it was just canceled. Like you're on your own, it's your problem. So of course, like, you know, they was in touch all the time, and in United States, on the West, there's the culture of like being very have a lot of empathy, you know, like I wish. There's such phrases, and you may relate to that, like I wish I would be there for you.
I hope you're feeling better.
I hope you're feeling better. If I would be there for you, I would make you soup, or I will bring you some fruits. If only I can feel how you feel, and etc. In Ukraine, it's more about action. We don't speak. We don't say, oh, I wish I would do that. If I can, I do it. If I don't say. The same is with the water, right? If I can't buy it, I just like, oh, you know, where's the water? No water around, you know? So that's it. So she called him, they spoke, and she told him the situation that, you know, they told her to buy a new ticket, and, you know, she's so tired, and she has this fever and this pet and everything. And this guy just said to her, his name, let's say, Gary. So this guy is Gary. He said, oh my God, that is a horrible situation. I really feel sorry for you. I hope you will, if I wish I would be there with you, and I hope that you will figure it out. At that moment, the world for this lady just like turned into black, because she's by herself with a pet, having fever, and her man just basically in her mind broke up with her. And when she got back, somehow she got back to United States, of course she like made it there, he was waiting for her call. She like, are you okay? Did you make it home? They was not living together. And she said, why are you calling me? And he was like shocked. He couldn't understand why she's talking to him like that. What have he done wrong? You know, like he was there with her, he was texting with her, chatting with her. And so when he called us, basically that was his question, like what he done wrong. I guess you understand already that Ukrainian ladies, for them, especially when they've been in a relationship for so long, for half a year, you know, it was important that this man will say like, dear, just like, here's the hotel, like at the airport, or go to the VIP lounge, whatever, just like give me 10 minutes, I will call my travel agent, or I will book online, and I will get you another ticket.
I will solve the problem.
I will solve the problem. That is the message that she wanted to get. That was the only reason why she shared with him this. Not because she really have so much time at the airport saying like, hey, like, and call all of her like contact list, you know, to say that she is stuck in Poland. So he didn't solve the problem, but because he was probably, what Striker always say, that, you know, some guys may be treating the ladies like they are Western women, you know, because Western woman, like she can easily come to any airport and just grab a card. when Ukrainian lady probably never, ever, ever done it, you know, because she never been in a country where she would like drive. If she's in Europe, she's using bus or train or taxi. And in the United States, it's normal. You come to a different state, you book a car, and that's it. And we have many stories. We have another couple that is getting married that, you know, she came to him, and she was also in the United States, and you know, he didn't have any food for her, and he thought, I thought that you would grab some sandwich at the airport. That Ukrainian lady will never do, you know, she would like, if she's like, she would wait to get home to eat. And so this guy were shocked, he can't understand, and so we explained to him that this was the case. So he can't imagine that this is the case, right? But we offered him to tell her that, you know, he know his mistake. And she confirmed that, yes, I was waiting from you the action. And when you basically told me that you, in her mind, she didn't hear like, I wish I would be there for you. For in her mind, she heard, I don't care. You're on your own.
Yeah, there's kind of, I guess it goes a bit deeper than that, because there was probably other things that she was kind of turning a blind eye on. You know, maybe it's when it comes to like masculine frame, leadership, that sort of thing. But this was the catalyst that just went, okay, that's it. Because what he actually did is he didn't just say sorry about the ticket or whatever. For her, it was unforgivable, but there was more stuff. I just know that there was. So what he did is he did our Ascend course. He learned what he had to do to be a man in a relationship with a Ukrainian woman. He learned all of that through there, plus the coaching as well that was happening as well. And she saw the change in him over, I don't know how long it was, whatever that period of time was, but he couldn't say, oh, I'm sorry about that, I won't do it again. For her, it was too far. He had to literally change his mindset about being in a relationship with a woman, not with a Western woman, but with a Ukrainian woman. And the interesting thing about the story, and that's why I wanted to talk about it here, is one, we got this photo the other day, but also he wasn't a client. He'd never sat there and watched all of our videos. He hadn't done any of that stuff. He went into a relationship with a Slavic woman as a Western man and completely messed it up. And so when we say these stories about Ukrainian women dating in a Western country and they don't like it because of the type of culture that they have there with going 50-50 and there's no chivalry and all that sort of stuff, this is exactly what was happening. This is exactly what this is about. And because he liked her so much, he had to change who he was from his core in order to satisfy her, I guess, wants in a man, right?
Yeah, but it was, again, you know, it was more about action, because on the West, it's like Ukrainian lady really like when the man put her in his frame. And she really like when the man is just saying like, today, you know, everything is set up. Everything is like booked and we're just going to have a good time. You need to wrap like swimming suit, or you need to dress this, or you need to do this. But on the West, it's like, I hear that from the clients sometimes. It's like the guy's aware about every single step. And this guy was doing this mistake because he was obviously sending us all the correspondence like we request. We read all the chats that they've been having. And all the time he was saying like, but I'm willing to change. I'm willing to be a man that you want. And for women, it's just like super unattractive. Like she doesn't want to hear that. Do. You know, don't be... like like ladies don't like this spaghetti on their ears. They like man who is acting. So like we offer him like what he should do, and it worked absolutely perfectly.
She saw the change in him.
She saw the change because when he was saying like, I'm willing to change, I'm going to change. Okay, when, how, what you gonna do? And so when we start telling him what exactly Ukrainian ladies are like, they like and what they do, of course, you know, she saw those changes without him saying, oh, today I'm going to change my socks. You know, you don't need to say that. You can just change them. That's it. And so basically there was many things. There was so many things because they was meeting every time, and like, and the way, like, again, the striker like used this, I would say, Cold War strategy a little bit, like when the guy a little bit pushing the lady away. But you need to know when you're doing that, not like, because some guys taking this strategy and think like, I'm not gonna message her, or I will message her. Or, you need to know exactly moment when to do it, not like just like randomly.
The reason that it worked there, and it's worked in other situations as well, is when there is a physical attraction and it has been intimate, most likely, or sexual as well. The interesting thing about this, and this is why I was super proud about this, even though he wasn't a matchmaking client, he was just coaching client, is that she put him very firmly into the friend zone. She even told him that.
Yeah.
And normally we say, you know, once you're in the friend zone, it's virtually impossible to get out. He got out of the friend zone. And what happened last week?
Yeah, so 31st of December, like out of blue, I was thinking about him, to be honest, because last time we spoke with him in October, I think.
Yes.
And out of blue, 31st of December, he sent me pictures from their wedding. And that is a really, really special story to us because we was able to manage that even without, like for me it was important, like even without talking to her, because usually it's a little bit easier because I can, hey, like, you know, what is going on?
We kind of had to guess.
Yeah, but here we could guess, but I think that he was, like what Stryker said, he was so much not prepared, his mentality was so much not prepared for the dating Ukrainian lady, that he was ready to and willing to change, but he didn't know how to do it, and there's nothing or nobody who can teach them how to do it. And she was thinking like, no, I want my man to be my man, you know?
Yes. And so when he did the Ascend course, he learnt what he had to be, and he's looking at it going, I'm not this, but this is who I want to be. And so that was the change for him. It's just a switch in his head. And then from there,
and of course,
the rest is history.
Extremely pleasant that, you know, even though he's not a client, you know, he wrote a lot of feedback to us, but that he sent us a picture that in the day of his wedding, he was thinking about us. That was really very special. So here is our 3 stories about that happened in 2024. If you want to hear more, if this was helpful for you and you get some lesson to learn, we would definitely share more.
Yeah.
I love it.
See ya.
See you.